Donald Trump just repealed the rule that would force airlines to compensate you when your flight is delayed or canceled.
The Department of Transportation is scrapping a proposed plan requiring airlines to compensate passengers for flight disruptions.
Now to some big news for air travelers.
The Trump administration says it is canceling a rule that would have given flyers more rights to compensation for flight disruptions.
The Trump administration is now seeking to remove certain airline passenger rights that were unveiled under President Biden.
Okay, so your flight is delayed, maybe it's canceled altogether and you're stuck at the airport. Believe me, we have all been there. And now you've got to shell out top dollar for a cramped airport hotel room and overpriced food at the gate. Now look, if you ask me, that food and the price of the hotel room shouldn't come out of your pocket. It should be paid for by the airline. So the Biden administration had ordered that if your flight is severely delayed or canceled, you're compensated for that. Makes sense. The Trump administration just ended that rule.
Here's how it would have worked. The plan would have required airlines to pay up to $300 for domestic delays of 3 hours or more, and up to $775 for delays lasting at least 9 hours, similar to regulations in the EU and Canada.
And I'm still waiting for someone to tell me how that helps anyone other than the big airlines. The airline industry has been one of the most powerful lobbies in Washington. They have a full-time lobbying presence right here in Washington, D.C., 24/7, ready to go to lobby members of Congress and government officials on behalf of the airlines. And maybe so that they could make sure that Donald Trump is listening. Both United and Delta gave $1 million to Trump's inauguration fund. And surprise, surprise, airline executives don't want to have to compensate you even when the airlines mess up. So the Trump administration handed this gift over to the airlines on a silver platter. And the guy who handed it over, his name is Sean Duffy. He is Trump's head of the Department of Transportation. What job did Mr. Duffy have before becoming Trump's Secretary of Transportation? Answer, he was a lobbyist for the airline industry. Yeah, look, you can see it right here. He was a registered lobbyist as recently as 2023, and one of his clients, a coalition of major U.S. airlines. And what does he have to say for himself when you ask him how to fix travel? Well, he says people who are flying should dress up in fancy clothes and be in a good mood.
People dress up like they're going to bed when they fly. You know, I see people getting on airplanes and they're having a hard time taking their luggage and getting in the oversized or the above bin. Help people out, be nice, be courteous. And so we want to push people as we come into a really busy travel season. Help people out, be in a good mood, dress up, bring civility back to travel. And I think everyone's experience is going to be that much better.
And he's now doubling down on that winning message. When a reporter asked him what he's doing to help with the air travel experience ahead of the busy holiday season, here's part of his answer.
How I dress, I can't blame it on anybody else. I made that choice this morning when I came to the airport. So that's just the ask. And I think I'm not trying to put a blame on anybody. I'm just asking us all to be better and do better. And then we'll all have a more pleasant experience. And it's no one has to, again, I can't fine you if you don't comply.
Man, you just can't make this stuff up. Maybe this isn't about how passengers are dressed. Maybe people would be in a better mood if the airline industry wasn't squeezing them for every penny they've got. Or if Trump didn't fire a bunch of air traffic controller staff. And make no mistake, this is not the only way people are losing money with Trump as president. Prices are going up, and in addition, people are faced with more and more Trump fees. So what do I mean by Trump fees? When you have to pay for an extra night in a hotel or for a meal at an airport or for another day of airport parking because the airline canceled your flight, that's money out of your pocket. That is a Trump fee. And these Trump fees, they're piling up. Here's another example. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, put out a rule to stop big banks like JP Morgan from charging you hundreds of dollars in fees when you overdraw a checking account by only a few dollars. This one rule would have saved Americans $5 billion a year. Trump and the Republicans in Congress threw out that rule. Donald Trump also cut out the tool that lets you file your taxes for free with the IRS. So when you pay TurboTax to file your taxes, that's money out of your pocket. Donald Trump also got rid of the rule that says Amazon and other companies can't make it almost impossible for you to cancel your subscription. So if you're stuck paying for a monthly service you don't use, that's money out of your pocket. Donald Trump has allowed companies to get bigger and more powerful even when it hurts market competition. So when your cell phone company or your TV streaming service hikes your monthly bill knowing you don't have an alternative, that's money out of your pocket. Donald Trump let a company off the hook after it was accused of using algorithms to keep rent prices high for families. That's money out of your pocket. And look, it doesn't stop there. When your premiums go up because Donald Trump and the Republicans in Congress refuse to extend the Affordable Care Act subsidies, that's money out of your pocket. Donald Trump ran for president telling people he would lower costs on day one. His words, on day one. But instead, again and again, these Trump fees are reaching into your pocket and handing your hard-earned money over to the wealthy and the well-connected. So when Trump scrapped the airline rule, we're all clear that it's not just about the airline rule. It's about basic fairness. This is about who we're fighting for. Trump and his Secretary of Transportation, they fight for rich airlines and their lobbyists. I fight alongside the Democrats who fight for hardworking people who just want a level playing field. And I'm going to stay in that fight until we win.